generally speaking, the stock market is now 15%.
Well, one thing's for certain, there's no doubt about it, there's a lack of supply. And I speak to a lot of high net worth individuals or clients of mine that have, they're 70 years of age, 70 plus, that educated people, but they did the simple thing and just bought up small investment properties through Melbourne for 30 years. Fitzroy, Northcote, those particular areas, inner city, run-down homes, post-war homes. And they're now saying, the biggest complaint they've got now is, well, I've got these properties, a fellow I spoke to yesterday, he's got 4 or 5 properties, and he said, bought them for 40 grand, now they're $1.5 million, $1.8 million. And his view now is well, I'm going to sell them because the land tax bill now is surpassing the rent. Doesn't make any sense. So what you're finding in the market now is that because there's been a lack of build, that my belief is that housing prices, when interest rates come down, that people will realise should have, could have, would have, should have bought at that particular opportunity, because when interest rates come off, you'll see housing prices increase because of purely lack of supply. That's number one. The next shift is, there is a shift of a lot of people that have got, like my client I just mentioned, that is selling off maybe 1 or 2 of those homes before Christmas to reduce the land tax burden, and will place that money into probably fixed interest or short-term with us, and where they'll achieve 6.5 to 7%, and we'll sit there and see what happens in the next 6-12 months. But that's a net 7% in hand, a net return, no rates, no land tax, no insurance, no landlord, no tenants to be concerned about. So there's on that side of it, you've got a lack of supply. It is going to, what we're going to see in the next 9 months to 18 months to 24 months, as interest rates come off, people awake now, and that'll drive because of pure lack of supply. The existing people that have investment real estate, they're very concerned about, well, the government's taking too much, I can't get a yield. So, my advice to them, if you can hang on to those properties rather than taking a discount on the sale now, is that you're probably better off to ride that wave out. So there's a lot happening, particularly in Victoria. Everyone's become very much interest rate focused from anyone borrowing, and coupled with that, people that actually have investment properties that aren't primary place of residence are hit with a land tax liability. So I think, having said that today, there's still, when you look at the big end of the top end of the market, there's still high-end properties selling at record prices. So it's a very fickle market. I was reading today that the Meyer family have just listed in Toorak their home for, it's been in the family for generations, well over a century, and they think it'll be a record price in Melbourne for over $100 million. And they've got listed today in the Age. And I thought, I've met a few of the Meyer family, and I think that's incredible in this market, and there'll be a buyer for that. Will it be local? Who knows? It's probably more likely to be someone from overseas. But in this market where it's a buyer's market, then you're seeing record prices on the very top end. It's a very fickle market at the moment. One thing I will say, I think for people that are when I first started, I came off the slope of 11, 9, 6, 7 and 6% interest rates, and I decided to buy, and I rented in East Melbourne with a couple of female doctors. That was fun. And then, but I geared and bought up a lot of real estate purely because the interest rates and the rent, it worked. Cheap real estate. So the environment now, I think, is challenging. But I'll say to people that are on the cusp, that have got a deposit, they've got good income, they've got the interest rate, they call ICR, interest coverage ratio, is the bank term. if they're probably in a position now where it's a good time to probably get into the market, because lack of supply, I think you'll see that property prices, despite what a lot of the other economists are saying, I think property prices will probably run.